While I was on the road with the Peas, and I think it was 2001, and I met Andres, who would eventually become his manager. And when he was on The Voice, he called me to have lunch, and he was asking me what I was going to do next. And I said, I'm just going to write. And, you know, that led to, you got to meet my artist. And he bribed me to meet Diego Val. The Miami Heat were in the playoffs at that time, and I said, no, I'm going to go home and watch the game, man. I'm cool. I don't want to go meet nobody. He's like, I'll pay for your bar tab. We watched the game at the bar, and then Diego came down and said to me, Jorge, how you doing? I'm your singer. I'm like, what? That's how we met. When we first started to decide that we were going to be in a band together, I'm a big fan of names that mean something. And so I had a friend of mine that's a writer. It's like, can you come up with a concept that connects Peru and Cuba? And he called me back later on that day. He's like, this is like a Hollywood script. I could have written it better. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, the Mariel boat lift. I'm like, oh, that's right. And then I started doing research, and as it turns out, in 81, a Cuban ran his car into the Peruvian embassy and demanded asylum. The Peruvian government said, you didn't have to do that. We'll give you asylum. You didn't have to run your car into here. He said, well, what about my family? And they said, yeah, bring them. So 75 people later that evening were in the Peruvian embassy. Next morning, 10,000 Cubans were in the Peruvian embassy, and Castro had no choice but to open up the port of Mariel, and 125,000 Cubans left.
If you want to be a musician, you don't necessarily need to go to The Voice to be a star or to make it out there. You know, I think it's about grabbing a guitar, a set of drums, and making some music and putting it out there. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as it sounds or as it looks. Just because you're on TV doesn't necessarily mean you're famous already, you're going to be a rock star. So it's a long process from The Voice. All I can say is I'm happy and proud of being from a show like that, and a lot of good things coming forward from it. You know, so. I think we want to bringing that sound to Latin America for being something definitely new, and that's one of my accomplishments. That's one of the biggest things that I want is to bring a new sound, the innovators of a new sound to Latin America and to the world. You know, but more than anything, we're from Latin America, which makes it even better.